Hey everyone, so in the last episode we were working on the saloon panelling. So we have the saloon pretty much panelled out now. There's a few places we want to put trim and things like that, but for the most part the saloon is panelled and yeah, I'm happy with it. So what we're going to do next is move on to the galley, and one of the hardest things about living aboard for the last year has been the galley space has been a real pain. I've always had like a bit of a plywood sheet on the floor, or the cook has been kind of sitting on a box and stuff like that. So we're going to try and get the galley functioning and try and get some cabinets and stuff like that for storage. And then we're going to move on to doing some electrical and a chart table. So yeah, we'll get cracking on that and see how we get on. So now that I've got the saloon like panelled out, I'm going to start moving on to the galley. So we're going to move on and focus on getting the galley kind of, wouldn't say finished, but most of the way there. Get the cooker in, get the sink plumbed in properly, and stuff like that. Get some cabinets in for plates and food, so there's not stuff everywhere and getting dust all over it. So yeah, we're just gonna spend like the next couple of months getting this done. So I'm gonna aim for a very similar way that we did the panelling in the saloon, where we're gonna put the strips, maybe every 8 inches of plywood, painted ply, and then I'm actually gonna panel this with just solid sheets of ply, because a lot of this stuff is gonna either be inside cabinets or covered with shelves or covered with stainless steel for the cooker, so it's not a huge deal that this looks really pretty from the offset. Any exposed ply will probably end up putting some tiles on, or even kind of using little bits of panelling to make it look good. But yeah, we're gonna aim to get the panelling on the hull done, and then get the cooker in and move on and try and make it more of a usable space. So I'm gonna crack on getting the strips of timber onto the walls, and then I'm going to start making a template for the plywood, so we'll get stuck into that. So after much jiggery pokery, we've got the hull sheeted. So painted the back sides and all the edges, so we'll be able to paint the fronts now when things are a little bit further along. Just screwed into those ply sheets running along the back, on the back side, screwed in, nice and strong. There's no flex or anything, so yeah, this should serve a purpose really well. There'll be a covering strip between the gaps as well. I'm not worried about gaps because it'll only promote airflow anyway. But there will be a covering strip there, same as we would do in the saloon. So this is going on pretty good. Apart from around like the stringers and all the awkward kind of corners, these went in pretty much first time. So I'm really happy with the way that the templates, the kind of the way we're doing templates is working out. So yeah, this is a really nice one to have done. So next job is to basically provide some support for the galley, because it's a bit wobbly now. Provide some support from the plywood at the back here with some frames, and some frames down here, and then another sheet of ply in here, so then the galley stove can sit on its gimbals in here. So that's what we're going to get on doing next. So I'm going to make these frames for the back, and then we'll make a template for the back of the hull, and we'll get that screwed in, and then we'll be able to hang the gimbals. So yeah, let's see how we get on and try and get that done today. So there it is, we've got the stove on its gimbals. It's a little bit tight in there at the moment, but the spaces I put in, I can just shave them back, and then the stove will swing a little bit more free. It's just, you can kind of hear it catch it a little bit, but that's not a big deal at all. It'd be way worse if it was like way too big, and I'd have to fill the gap with like big spaces. But I'm pretty happy with the way this has gone, and it's looking pretty lush. So now that I have this kind of in, eventually we'll probably sheet this with stainless steel. So there'll be a stainless steel covering on all this plywood to protect it from splashes and from heat. So we'll do that in the future as like a finishing thing, but for now I wanted to muck up the galley and get it kind of a little bit nicer than it was. The plan underneath the cooker is to have like a bit of teak covering, and then space for like pots and pans, and then at the back of the galley there'll be shelves and stuff for food and plates. So this is coming together exactly how I imagined it, so I'm really happy. So now I'm going to move on to cladding out and paneling the fronts, and marking out where I'm going to put the doors and stuff like that. So I'm going to move on to that next. So I'm really happy with the way this has turned out. We've used 9mm ply, painted, and then I've glued and nailed these tongue and groove boards to that, so you get the nice effect, and it adds a little bit of strength to it as well. But the plan here is, and the reason I nailed it all separately and did it separately, was I want to be able to take this whole panel off in the future. So we'll be able to move the panel, and I'll be able to get full access to the hull plating and everything down here. There'll also be my water pumps and everything in here as well. So fresh water pump, my accumulator, and there'll be a shelf here as well for kind of cleaning stuff. There'll be a shelf in there for pots and pans and things like that. And then a small shelf down here, but all of that needs to be taken out so eventually, so that I can kind of check all of the things that are hidden, because I don't think it's a good idea to hide things and keep kind of places in a steel boat that you can't get to, especially down and around the bilges. So yeah, this is going pretty well. So when it comes to doing the floor, I'm going to put a cleat on the bottom of this door, this kind of panel, and there'll be a door here as well, a nice door here that you can access inside, and the cleat will be here for the floor, and there'll be a cleat there for the floor as well, so you'll be able to take the floors out and access all of the plating. So yeah, I want to be able to get full access and not hide things. So yeah, this has gone really well. So as you can see now, that's where we are at with the galley. Still haven't plumbed the gas for this cooker, because I want to run the gas line up and out into a locker that will hang on the push bit. And I'm not massively rushed to get that fitted, because I want to ask a professional to help me with that. Gas is dangerous, so I want to make sure it's right. Bit of storage, there's a bit of storage here. I just made a little bit of a door and threw some varnish on it. But that's basically what we're going for the interior look. That'll be painted white with dark teak kind of coloured doors, and then the same kind of coloured trim all the way around, and a black kind of plastic countertop. The fridge obviously won't be there. There'll be cabinets here, but I haven't gotten around to do that yet. I've also made the floor in here, so the floor will be kind of just like this. Not going to change much about the floor, but there will be like a plastic covering that goes over the floor, like a veneer, and it'll kind of make it a little bit nicer to look at. But other than that, things are looking pretty good in here, and I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. So going from the galley, step down into the saloon, 2 bunks. Got to finish painting obviously, so we're going to finish painting all this white, and there'll be, see, that's the kind of colour we're going for the trim. I've also done a bit of a trim here just to give myself an idea of what it's going to look like. So it'll just be like white with a trim in between, and then there'll be the trim around the windows, and then white overhead with dark trims running through it, and that's how it looks. It's looking pretty good in here. I'm very happy with it. Say hi, Niamh.
Hi.
We decided to take the weekend off and bring the boat out to a mooring. So we brought the boat out to the mooring and Niamh's paddleboarding and I'm just rowing around. Yeah, it's a beautiful day and yeah, we just burnt ourselves out a bit, so we're just taking a break and pretending that we're cruising. The mooring is about probably an hour's sail away from Kinsale, so it's not so bad because like if something happens at least we can get a tow home. I'm not going to say anything's happening, but nothing is going to happen, but things do happen, so it's nice to be close enough to home. Anyway, let's go and explore and have a look around. We're cheating a bit, aren't we? We wanted to get over to the trees and the boat's miles away and there's loads of tide, so Niamh's cheating. What It's really clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is Oyster Haven, so it's a really nice coastline. And there's a Kinsale hotel is up here, and we're going to go up there for lunch later on. But the boat down on the mooring below, and we're just pottering up the river because there's a really strong tide that's heading that way at the moment. And Niamh was paddling on the spot, so I said we'll take her up the river, and then she can paddle down the river to have a look at this. So yeah. Shame the sun is gone. Don't fall off.
I won't.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You can be like them people on the TV.
People.
I don't know. I feel like I'm drifting into the bushes. See, the tide has taken us down already, so you probably don't even have to paddle.
Yeah. Gotta go over to this plateau.
I'm going to row because it's really nice and the bird noise is really nice. Buddy, 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 buddy. Where are the buddies? Don't fall. At least if you fall, you have it on camera.
If I fall, I'll be in such bad mood.
Welcome to Being in the Wilderness with Rhys. Today we are on an abandoned beach and we're going to look for the mysterious yellow spotted wibble wobbler. It's a very rare bird and we're gonna go and find it. So here we have the feces of the yellow spotted wibble wobbler, and if we taste it, yes, that's definitely a yellow spotted wibble wobbler poo. And we're gonna go up into the bushes and see. Oh, I can hear something in the bushes. It sounds like the yellow spotted wibble wobbler fighting with its mate. Ah! Ah! Doesn't look like we're gonna have any luck today, chaps. We better go and back to the mothership and see where Niamh has gone. Looks like she's gone down into the bushes there. We'll go and chase her. Here we go.
Yeah?
I couldn't find any yellow spotted wibble wobblers.
I'm sorry, what? There's a clothes hanging up there.
Ain't no wind. Where's the wind? Niamh has spotted a seal.
Sammy the seal.
That's the big sovereign. That's a bird reservation. There ain't no wind, but we've got the sails up so it looks cool. Can look, eh? So we have a full main up for the first time ever. We usually have it reefed because it's quite a big main and I wasn't sure about it. And we're moving along, I'd say around 2 knots now, Niamh. Niamh is too busy with her binoculars. Let's see how fast we're going now. So we can have a look at... So we have absolutely no instruments yet, so we literally have... That flag tells me how much wind there is. And then navionics, if we can get it to work. See, this is the perks of living on a boat and being in a workshop all the time, is you break your phone. So wait for navionics to load, and it'll tell us how slow we're going, if we're going at all. Oh, we're doing 3 knots, Niamh. Oh, no, 2 knots. 2 knots. Don't know if you can see that now on the phone. Don't think you can. Take my word for it. 2.2 knots. There you go. And we're heading out just past the Sovereigns there now, and then we're heading back into Kinsale. We shouldn't Kinsale. Kinsale's about a mile and a half away, Niamh, so we should be there tomorrow.
Well.
Niamh had a pair of binoculars surgically implanted.
I'm dolphin watching.
Niamh, why don't you tell the people at home what you are calling yourself now?
Zora the Explorer.
Yeah, never say that again. Oh god. The dinghy's gonna overtake us.
Cool.
It's not cool.
It is cool.
Did you see the Bullman Rock coming up there about half a mile away? So we should be there in an hour. This is nice though. The breeze is actually picking up a little bit. And yeah, I don't know. I think I probably should stick to the building vlogs, Niamh. I don't think I'm very good at the sailing vlogs. Oh. So that's all I have time for today. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the bit of sailing and bit of work as well. You know, we've been working pretty hard the last, I suppose, nearly 18 months now, so it's nice to be able to just get out together and take the boat out and get to know her and see what we need to do to really get the boat sailing properly and to get off the marina and go cruising. The plan all along is really to get the boat to a point where we can just go. I'm not aiming for an absolutely 110% perfect boat. I'm aiming for a boat that we can use. She's never going to be a show boat. She's never going to be a shiny, polished boat. She's more of a Land Rover than a yacht. But yeah, we're really enjoying the whole process, and we're actually getting out to use it, which is cool too. Massive thank you to the people who've been sending us a bit of money here and there. We really appreciate that, especially the patrons and people on PayPal and stuff. So yeah, really, honestly, thank you so much for doing that. It helps paying for some of the kind of smaller things like the electrical components that we're going to be putting in the next couple of weeks and things like that, you know. It makes a big difference. So over the next couple of episodes, we're going to be working on the chart table and running wiring and things like that and trying to get some of the onboard systems working. Also working towards getting some tankage in as well, heads for the heads and for the fuel tanks. So once we get those milestones over the line, we'll be in a really good place, and the boat will actually be almost kind of usable at that point. So again, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. Thanks.